The root's on fire. Before I get to my guest, I want to mention this just in breaking news. The United States Supreme Court allows the Trump administration to terminate teaching grants that violate DEI policy. It's a 5-4 vote, and as soon as I saw it, I said, great, but why is it 5-4 and we have a 6-3 lead? Who's the rat fink that would vote against that? Has to be Justice Roberts, my first thought, and then I looked. Justice John Roberts voted against it. He is dirty, he is corrupt, or he is blackmailed. There is something wrong with that man. He is filthy. Something's wrong with Justice John Roberts. He voted against the Trump administration's ability to terminate teaching grants that violate DEI policy. John Roberts, what a fool. What a fool. All right, let me mention the latest sponsor of my local Vegas radio show, not my national, but my local Vegas. And we're going to bring him on as a guest because he's a big shot. The company's called Singular Research, and Robert Maltbie is Singular Research. He has over 40 years of Wall Street experience. He was the first analyst to identify the Magnificent Seven in early 2023 before a 100% move up in price of those tech companies. Singular Research has over 110 institutional clients with $60 billion in assets, and Robert is going to be sharing the same strategy he's sharing with his top institutional clients at a dinner in Vegas. Now, if you're not from Vegas, I guess this doesn't pertain to you, but if you live in Vegas or you live nearby, California, Phoenix, Salt Lake, you might want to fly in for this or drive in for this. Singular Research Private Investor Client Dinner, Thursday, April 17th, 6 p.m. at the Sienna Golf Club in Summerlin. Very fancy, very nice golf club filled with $1 million plus homes. I know Sienna very well. I've spoken there at their Republican Club many times. So it's Thursday, April 17th, 6 p.m., Sienna Golf Club. And if you want this information, you want to show up for the dinner, it's singularresearch.com, singularresearch.com. And we've got him as our guest, Robert Maltbie, president of Singular Research, top-ranked hedge fund manager, 40 years of Wall Street experience. Again, singularresearch.com. Robert, welcome to my national show. How are you?
Hi, Wayne. It's an honor and a pleasure. You're a great MAGA thought leader, and I believe, from what I know, a tremendous fog cutter of BS. Keep up the great work there.
Thank you. That is what I do. I'm a fog cutter. That's true. I cut through the lies and the BS. So briefly, give us your background. Tell us, what you've done in your career, and tell us about the Magnificent Seven and about the $60 billion under management. The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, thank you, Wayne. Yes. So I fell off the turnip truck and had to get a job, that type of thing. Jumped into the financial industry right at the onset of the magnificent bull market that started in '83, and got to be up there in the upper ranks of a firm called Dean Witter, and from there we launched Singular Research right at the onset, right before the great .com crash. So we're battle tested for sure. We have about 110 institutional clients that get and subscribe to our research. Our positioning and what our value is to these clients, and some of the top fund managers in the country, names you'd know like Franklin and Fidelity, that have a small cap fund. They look to us for our unique coverage at companies that lack coverage. They just are forgotten, forlorn, and most apparently don't have an upcoming banking deal to attract Wall Street, big Wall Street attention. So that's what we do, and that advantage we have there is we have a great staff of analysts, very experienced. We have the firepower of $1 billion fund with our 6 analysts, and we look at these companies that no one else really cares about, and they are usually priced at a 25-30% discount because there's no coverage, because no one cares, and we really look to identify the best ideas in that group.
Talking to Robert Maltbie, president of Singular Research. He's got over $60 billion under management. and he's got 110 institutional clients, and he is going to have a dinner in Las Vegas. By the way, tell us about that private client dinner that anyone can attend. Is it free to attend? I never heard whether there's a cost to it or not.
It is free. We do ask that accredited investors attend. We want to focus on folks we can legitimately work with and help. But it is free. We're going to be focusing on our strategies to deal with this market that is just
What?
reacting very in a very volatile downside fashion, and strategies that we're using right now to reduce our risk and be positioned to increase our returns as we move ahead throughout the year. It's the most volatile market I believe we've seen since the COVID market that was, hit us pretty hard.
Well, certainly today and yesterday reminded us of COVID, because I remember there were like 3 days in a row where the market was down 2,000 points each day, and that was back in the COVID days. And I was starting to think that the world was ending, the earth was ending, and now we have 2 straight days of down, I think 1,600 and 2,200. By the way, you're the market expert. I don't understand something. I clearly remember in my mind, now maybe I'm off, that the market was down like 2,000, like 4 times in an 8-day period during COVID, and that's why I thought the world was ending. And now all of a sudden today it's down 1,600 and 2,200 in back-to-back days, and they said it's the worst 2 back-to-back days in the history of Wall Street. In 200 years, it's the worst 2 days ever. How could that be, Robert? When I remember during COVID, it was down more than that, and like several days in a row, and 4 out of 8 days, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Am I imagining something?
I think that's a little bit of headline grabbing hyperbole by the media, because you have a day where you're down 20, 30%, like in 87, or even one of the COVID
Right.
down days. I mean, I think they're just kind of playing some numbers.
2,000 doesn't even mean that much anymore based on how high the market is. So it's
No,
it's completely wrong to make it like it's the worst day in the history of Wall Street.
it's the media, the financial media, revving up a frenzy and a negativity. I haven't seen this type of onslaught of panic and fear unleashed by mainstream media on financial media in a long time. It's
Well, because they want to stop Trump. They want to stop Trump, and they don't want the tariffs to be instituted because they're all on the side of China. They're on the payroll of China. That's what's going on here. This is Trump aiming his torpedoes at China, and these people are all bought and paid for by China. They're on the Chinese payroll and the CCP payroll. Let's get your thoughts on tariffs, though, Robert. I mean, look, I'm open-minded. Like them, don't like Trump's strategy. What is Trump's strategy, in your opinion?
His strategy is to restore the strength and the wherewithal of the middle class, as I'm sure as a historian and from your background, Wayne, that no strong democracy can exist without a very strong middle class. And the middle class over the last 40 years has been eviscerated. You have to look at the reality of the numbers, where the top 1% and the income accreting to corporate America versus the median income is such a huge gap. So it's been such a disproportional rally. We've lost 5 million jobs, largely to China, and now he wants to bring them all back. And what the media is not focusing on is the tremendous stimulus that is occurring because of these tariffs, the equivalent of at least 4 trillion in fiscal stimulus. Without the government having to write a check or reduce taxes. It's all coming in because of these policies, and the media is not even mentioning it. That outweighs, and Doge as well, by the way, also very stimulus. But the front part of this is like a cold shower, and we're getting through that coldness right now. The outweigh the benefits of the tariffs and the reshoring and the production and the new factories being built here that are under construction and will be under construction outweighs any negative effect of tariff. The other thing is that tariffs are good. They really are. If you go back and you look at tariffs, a tariff has never directly caused a recession, and that's being conflated with the Great Depression out there. That's not what happened. The depression was already happened by the time they made that mistake. And looking at history, we've already had this little skirmish with China last in Trump term 1, and The market went up 75% during that period from 2018 to 2020 when we had the trade war with just China. And in fact, the Chinese market went down 40%. We won that. We're in the United States, America's in the best position to win. They need us much more than we need them. And they're
Right.
reciprocal. They're reciprocal. Like Vietnam, they can opt to say, "Hey, let's not do that trip." But right now, if you look at the magnitude of the fairness, you've got all these countries. The best way to understand it is the U.S. has the lowest tariff and favored nation status rates on the planet, 2-3%, and we've been getting marked
No, we're
down.
going to win this thing. We're going to win this thing. As Trump says, every nation in the world was on the phone with the White House begging him to come see him so they can negotiate this. This is all a negotiation. Trump set it high so that he wins the negotiation. Wall Street's panicking because they're a bunch of deep state DC swampers and they're on China's payroll. We're going to win this thing. Robert Maltbie, we got to go. We only have seconds to go. I want to make sure I mention Robert Maltbie's company. It is Singular Research, and you contact them to join this dinner for free Thursday, April 17th in Las Vegas, Sienna Golf Club in Summerlin. Register at singularresearch.com. Singular, SINGULAR, singularresearch.com. Free dinner, and listen to Robert's strategy. Singularresearch.com. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Wayne.